Home is supposed to be the one place where you feel safe, but for some people, it's where their worst nightmares begin. Tonight, I'm bringing you 3 real-life encounters that prove danger can be waiting just outside your door or already inside. These are true home horror stories, and they'll make you think twice before turning off the lights. So, lock your doors, check your closets, and let's begin. Story 1. She was hiding in my closet. I was in my 2nd year of college when this happened. After freshman year, I didn't get a dorm room and had to scramble to find somewhere to live. The cheapest option was a co-op. 3 old houses crammed into one property. It wasn't the nicest setup, but the rent was low and I could bike to campus. Most people there were students my age, except for one woman. She had grey streaked hair, walked with a stiff limp, and kept this blank, expressionless look on her face. Nobody talked to her, and I assumed she had some quiet role at the university, but she gave me the creeps from day one. The first time I noticed her acting strange was in our shared kitchen. She wasn't cooking or talking, just standing there in the middle of the room, staring. Every time I looked up, her eyes were on me. A few nights later, I saw her again, this time outside, standing in the middle of the street, looking straight at my window. It was cold out, and she didn't move until I made the mistake of waving. She bounced on her feet a few times like she was excited, then ran to her house. Now she knew exactly which room was mine. Weeks later, I stepped out of my bedroom late at night and nearly walked into her. She was standing right outside my door, silent, before slowly walking away. Then, one night, I woke to a faint bumping sound coming from my closet. Every 20 seconds, thump. My chest tightened. I pulled the door open in one motion. She was inside. One of my neckties was wrapped around her neck like a scarf, and in her hand, a kitchen knife. Her eyes were wide, unblinking. She lunged. I managed to wrestle her to the ground and call for help. My roommates pinned her until the police came. She had my missing room key in her pocket. She wasn't just some random tenant. She was the property manager's sister. He'd been letting her live there secretly, even though she had severe mental health issues. He was arrested for negligence. That night could have ended with me dead. I'll never forget the sound of that slow, deliberate bumping from my closet. Story 2. The girl who wouldn't let go. I've lived in the same house with my husband, Benjamin, for nearly 20 years. When the house across the street finally sold, a young man moved in. His name was Quinn. Mid-20s, nice smile, he drove a BMW, and always polite. It wasn't long before I noticed a blonde woman visiting him. She drove a white convertible and had her own key. At first, I assumed she was his girlfriend. Then, one afternoon, I overheard them arguing in the driveway. She was shouting, waving her arms, and then she slammed her car door and sped off. A few days later, I saw her at his house again, while he was gone. One night, I woke to sirens. The street lit up with the flashing lights, police cars, an ambulance. The girl was led out in handcuffs, calm and silent. Then Quinn was carried out on a stretcher, blood everywhere. When he came home days later, he told us what happened. Her name was Ellie. She had stolen his spare key and copied it. While he was away, she'd been going through his things, tracking his phone location, even planting hidden cameras in his bedroom. When he tried to break up with her, she refused. The night after their argument, she entered his home with a knife. He fought her off, but she cut him badly. So badly the doctors said he was an inch away from losing his life. He moved out not long after. I haven't seen him since. Story 3. The party that wasn't real. When I moved into my new place, I made a point of introducing myself to all my neighbours, except the one right next door. His house was huge, way too big for one person. When I finally knocked, a guy around my age named Damon answered. He was friendly but vague about what he did for work, just said finance. He claimed to live alone, but I never saw him leave or have guests. No deliveries, no visitors, nothing. Then one Wednesday night, around 2 a.m., loud party music woke me. I looked outside. 7 or 8 cars in his driveway. I decided to go ask him to turn it down, but no one answered the door. The next morning, I tried again. The door was unlocked. Inside were piles of shoes, at least 10 pairs, but no one was there. The party sounds were still playing, except it wasn't music. It was a recording of people laughing, talking, and clinking glasses. I found a basement door, slightly open, and went down. 3 older men stood there in heavy work clothes, gloves and goggles, staring at something out of sight. The air reeked of bleach. Every instinct told me to leave. As I turned to go, the light behind me dimmed, like someone had closed the door. I bolted out of the house, cutting through my backyard so no one saw me. Minutes later, 8 men poured out of Damon's front door, scanning the street. They eventually went back inside and the recording stopped. The next day, Damon's car was gone. It's been months now. The grass is overgrown and packages are piling at his door. No one else in the neighborhood claims they heard anything that night. I still don't know what I walked into, but I'm certain I was never supposed to see it. If these stories didn't make you double-check your locks tonight, I don't know what will. Real horror doesn't always hide in the shadows. Sometimes it's right where you live. If you want more terrifying true stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a night of horror. Until next time, sleep with one eye open.